Hi everybody, Chef Lou again. I wanted to do a recap of week 1. Hopefully I'll get through this. This is the third time I've been doing this video today and people keep knocking on my door, so hopefully we'll have a few moments of undisturbed peace. First things first, discussion board. Several of you made really great posts on the discussion board. A few of you have still got to get on at the time of this posting. It's not going to do anything good when you see this next week, but remember, I need 2 posts from each of you. The first, some type of an independent thought. The second, a follow-up post to somebody else's. So please get in there and do that discussion board, because without it, it's not really so much of a class. It's just a bunch of stuff posted on a wall. So I'd like to make this really interactive for everybody. There are some really good points made during the discussion board. It's never different when I post this initial question regarding price and purchasing, because you'll find that generally in the regular independent person market, the average homeowner looks at price first. And that's understandable. Food's expensive, things are tough everywhere, everybody looks at price. Hopefully though, what you're going to see over the course of this class is that price should be much less important than what you might think when we buy things in a commercial setting. Quality is much more important to many of us. Pack size, who makes it, or brand, availability. Those things are going to be a lot more important, and you're going to learn that as we go along. I have a brother-in-law who's a sales rep for a food company, and I always tell him that if you live by the price, you die by the price. In other words, if you're out there just selling price to a customer, somebody can always come in the next week and sell you or sell that customer cheaper than you did. So you got to sell service, you got to sell quality and things like that. That doesn't always work, especially in this general area. Price is pretty important to a lot of the small business owners, mom and pops especially. It's hard to sell them on service, but every once in a while you do get those clients that understand, and they make great clients. So on price, what you're going to find also as we do some of the can cuttings in this class, and if you remember, we talked briefly about can cuttings in the intro video. I did corn. We're going to take similar products, we're going to do a comparison. We've done a lot of these through the years, and you'll be amazed to see that usually the most expensive item is not necessarily the best item for every purpose. Sometimes the most expensive item is the worst item in general. I'm going to do one here in a few weeks that we did last semester with oatmeal. I don't know who here has had the strawberry and cream oatmeal. Quaker Oats makes one. Great Value has one. Then there's one that was picked up at Big Lots. First thing you'll notice when you look at this oatmeal, strawberry and cream oatmeal, there's no strawberry in it. How many people knew that? It actually has apples that have been dyed red and cut into little bits to look like little bits of strawberry, and then flavored artificially. How do you know that? Well, if you look at the front label and it says in very small print, artificially flavored under strawberry, then you look on the back, you'll see it's actually apples. And this is the name brand Quaker. No strawberries. And the cream, once again, there's no cream in strawberries and cream. It is an artificial cream made with powdered milk and all kinds of stuff. Funny thing is, during this last one that we did, the most expensive Quaker Oat brand was terrible when we compared it against the Great Value and then the Big Lot brand. The Great Value brand, which was cheaper, was much better in consistency and flavor. So you just never know. There have been times where the cheapest actually ends up being the best one. Remember, we don't always use the same thing for everything. We'll talk about eggs later on in the semester. And there's different grades of eggs. One grade is more expensive than the other and more expensive than on down the road. Well, if you're going to do Chef Lou's House of Cakes and all you're doing is making cakes, why would you buy the most expensive grade of egg when you can buy a less expensive grade of egg? It's all going to mix up the cake dough anyway. So anyway, we're going to talk more about that as we go. Alright, chapter 1 in the textbook. I hope you read it. It basically talks about some really simplistic forms of purchasing. E-purchasing, purchasing online, which is really big these days. It talked about co-op purchasing. Co-op purchasing is really big with schools. All the school districts will get together, We'll all buy our toilet paper, paper towel, hand towels together from one company. We'll put it in a central commissary, then you come up and pick your towels out of it. Why do we do that? Volume. Volume means cheaper price. The more I buy of something, the less it'll cost overall. That explains Sam Club and Costco and places like that. Aggregate purchasing, or an aggregate purchasing club, once again, there we've got a club, or a group of businesses that have gone together to find better deals and find better pricing. Why do you pay the most when you go to the grocery store? Because you're buying one of something. Imagine going to Sam's where they're buying 1 million of something every week. They're going to get a better deal. You might be paying a profit to somebody of $1 per each, where Sam's is paying somebody 10 cents each per profit because they're buying so much. It's just all volume. So on week 1, basically we talk about the different purchasing groups. We talk about the difference between purchasing and procurement, which is one of those words I've always hated. And procurement is kind of like the all-around finding the right product, negotiating. But it's a pretty simple chapter. Next week we're going to try to do 2 chapters, get a little bit more in detail to the whole purchasing game and find out what things go into purchasing a little bit more. The discussion question, a little bit more on depth. You're going to learn that there are some different factors that play into what we purchase, time factors, informational factors and things. It'll make more sense once you read chapters 2 and 3. So, read those 2 chapters. The discussion question comes out of chapter 3, so be sure and do that. And we'll go from there. Please, if you have any questions, go ahead and write me. I do sometimes forget to check the course email, but if you send me an email direct at cheflou@ozarka.edu, that's a great way to catch me. Discussion boards will close on Saturday. That's all I've got. So have a good week, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.